The piss. I can't resist the piss any longer. The rain is reminding me of the fluids that need to be expelled from my body. At any given moment, I am reminded that I have to piss because the rain is reminding me. It's making it worse. Sweating. There's spaghetti. I have a bottle. Should I pee in the bottle? So Coney Island, I haven't been to in years. I saw the white stripes at Coney Island and it was cool. I haven't really had a reason to go to Coney Island. But I ended up spending some time on the boardwalk, just waiting, and, you know, then after the show, too. It was shitty out today. It started raining towards the end, and I'll go into how this story turned into a nightmare later, but first, I will say Coney Island is a weird place because it is both incredibly magical and fun, and the worst shithole on the planet, both at the same time. It is simultaneously awful and terrific. I don't know how it pulls that off. I saw some people smoking hookah on the board. It was packed, by the way. It was disgusting. You know, we're talking like, I actually outside was smelling people on the boardwalk. It was like a meat canoe. It was disgusting. There were so many people on the boardwalk and it was like kind of gross out. People were smoking hookah on the side of the boardwalk. I saw a dude take a piss on a wall. You know, like it was just weird. Let's continue that. Like I said, this story is going to be an ongoing thing, and it gets weirder and kind of worse, but and tell the story because there's a lot to it. But anyway, yeah, there was a dude pissing on a wall. Coney Island again is a very strange place, and I missed it, but I also was like ready to leave. There was a distinct smell of piss down a few avenues, but that's a different story. So after the show, I am now really hungry, and I'm like, oh, we should grab something to eat. So we go to Nathan's. The line for Nathan's earlier was a clusterfuck. I've never seen 50 people in a hot dog uniform serving hot dogs all at the same time. That Nathan's is fucking packed and massive. So anyway, me and my friends, we went over there. Well, I met two of the people tonight, but the person I knew, let's just say. We went over to the Nathan's, and we are now engaging in eating Nathan, and it's starting to rain really hard. People are scattering, and we get some food. The fireworks go off. So while we're eating Nathan's, there's a fight. Two girls start fighting because I guess they're fighting over how to grapefruit one's man's. I don't know. They punch each other in the face. They're grabbing each other's hair. They're on the floor. One girl's punching the other girl in the face repeatedly. And while this is happening, there's little kids dancing. And they're like, oh shit! There's a dude pointing like, oh! Like egging them on. Like, yeah, punch the bitch! I was like, really? Tourists? I see tourists with cameras just taking pictures of it and smiling. Like this was a thing that they wanted from New York. Like, they came to New York to see this, they were egging it on, they were enjoying it, and I'm just trying to eat my hot dog in peace, and I'm just like, really? Is this really happening right now on 4th of July? It's like, it's America. The Beach Boys and a fight. And John Stamos. This is, well, he's Greek, but it's just America in a nutshell. So, then, like, the cops come, they clear it out, the tourists stop taking pictures, and, so they leave, you know, they leave, and, two lovers, you know, they come and they start making out in the seat where the violence happened not 3 minutes before that, and I'm just like, this is a really bizarre night so far. So the rain broke, and I was like, alright guys, let me head over to my car, you know, it's only like a 30 to 40 minute drive to Staten Island. Well, it's less, but you know, I figured with a little bit of traffic. Nope. Nope, I'll tell you guys. I'll tell you guys, I got back to my car. The parking lot alone, like I saw like a few of the Beach Boys leaving the venue. And I was like, oh shit, there's a dude pushing the car. And I'm like, oh shit, there's a dude pushing the car. And I'm like, oh shit, there's a dude pushing the car. And I'm like, oh shit, there's a dude pushing the car. And I'm like, oh shit, there's a dude pushing the car. And I'm like, oh shit, there's a dude pushing the car. And I'm like, oh shit, there's a dude pushing the car. And I'm like, oh shit, there's a dude pushing the car. And I'm like, oh shit, there's a dude pushing the car. And I'm like, oh shit, there's a dude pushing the car. And I'm like, oh shit, there's a dude pushing the car. And I'm like, oh shit, there's a dude pushing the car. And I'm like, oh shit, there's a dude pushing the car. And I'm like, oh shit, there's a dude pushing the car. And I'm like, oh shit, there's a dude pushing the car. And I'm like, oh shit, there's a dude pushing the car. And I'm like, oh shit, there's a dude pushing the car. And I'm like, This is after the shitty fireworks, by the way. The fireworks were pretty pointless. They were short and dumb, and it was just lots of explosions in a row. You know what's cool though? It's cool when you're stuck in a parking lot trying to get out of it for a full 30 minutes. So you may wonder how long it took me to get home from Coney Island, which is normally a half-hour drive. 2 hours. 2 hours. There was an accident. People were clusterfucked. You know, cause it's Coney Island, it's starting to rain, the Beach Boys were in town, and there were fireworks. And I'm the asshole who had to go eat Nathan's. I had to eat Nathan's right before leaving. I should've just left. I didn't know. Worst part is I'm in traffic. I have like 3% gas left. So now I'm freaking out. And there's nothing is moving. There, at one point, I counted 10 red lights. Well, here's how I made it home. I actually, at one point, my gas went from 3 bars down to 1. So that's how I knew it was like, say, 3%. I counted 10 red lights that nothing moved for a time. I'm now freaking out. It's coming down really hard. The rain is now the worst it's been all day. And I'm like, I'm not gonna make it to a gas station. I know where one is, but I'm not gonna make it. I'm gonna run out of gas. I'm like freaking. I'm like, oh god, oh god, oh god. So I decide, all right. Now this is, keep in mind, this is an hour and 10 minutes after I leave the lot. I decide that my best course of action was to park and wait for the traffic to go away. And that way I could just drive to the gas station, which is probably like 700 feet away, but, well, more than that, but it's like, you know, 10 blocks away, so not 700 feet. It does have a digital fuel gauge, yeah. The thing about it is, though, I thought maybe I would have to end up waiting like an hour and a half. Just so I could conserve enough gas so that I wouldn't have to be in stop-and-go traffic, wasting and idling, you know. So I pull over, and then I realize, holy shit, I have to piss worse than I've ever had to piss in my entire life. This story, like I said, it gets worse. So I had a water bottle, and I figured, well, it's dark, and it's raining really hard. So I did what I had to do, and who do I see walk next to me? John Stamos. No, actually, a cop starts walking onto the left of my car, and they kind of glanced in, and I was afraid they were going to catch me pissing into a bottle. But no, they just kept walking, so I got lucky. Or they didn't care. John Stamos saw me piss in a bottle in my car on 1% gas. Like, guys, I really had to go. I really had to go. There was no other option. There was an option. It would have been piss my pants, I guess, but... So now I'm starting to curse the Beach Boys. I'm like, you fucking cunt, Mike Love, I fucking hate you. Mike Love, you piece of shit. You didn't even have Brian. Where was Brian? Why did I go see Mike Love? I don't want to give this guy my satisfaction. So now I'm turning into a salty asshole about a guy I've never met that doesn't know I exist. And then the traffic started clearing after about 15 minutes. I guess the end of the story is the traffic cleared, I got gas. Dude almost crashed into me at the gas station, and then I waited, there was a bit more traffic and I got home. And, that's my story, everyone. It's not too crazy, but that was my 4th of July, and I saw a few fireworks and heard a few explosions. But, man, I never went from content to pissed off in a shorter period of time, unless we're talking about Mario Kart. I think that's what's going on. Miyamoto likes to watch Aonuma play Zelda, and that's it. And then Bill Trennan just watches them watch. And then Reggie watches Bill Trennan watch Miyamoto watch Aonuma. And then Mike Love, dressed as a police officer, shows up with John Stamos and watches Reggie pee into a cup. Alright, this is my home. I live here. It may suck, but it's all we've got. I'm talking about Staten Island. It's like when you're driving a car and it says you have 1 bar of gas or like 1 like sliver of gas left, and then it goes for like another 10 miles before you have to piss in a bottle after the 4th of July Beach Boys concert a year ago when Mike Love and John Stamos dressed as police officers and got out of a ambulance jerking off circus midgets. I don't think I'm supposed to say that word. Someone said they missed the Wolfenstein stream where I talked about how a member of the Beach Boys ruined my night. Yeah, but the thing about that is I told that story dozens of times and each time was different. No one knows exactly what happened that night, let alone me. No, it's a real story. It really happened. I saw the Beach Boys 4th of July, 2016. But it's not the Beach Boys, it's just Mike Love, who was the least talented member of the Beach Boys. You know? And so he's still calling it the Beach Boys, and John Stamos was there, and I got stuck in traffic and I had to pee. And I was running out of gas, and it was cold, and I was getting rained on. It was just a perfect combination of bad, punctuated by Mike Love. Is it the time you peed in a bottle? I had to. And as I peed, there was a cop that walked by. That's the real story. It wasn't Mike Love dressed as a cop. It wasn't John Stamos dressed as like a circus clown. It was an actual cop that was like walking by my car. So, as all this was happening, I actually had to... I had no gas. I was on 1 bar in the gas tank. Like, it was at the very end of my gas, and we weren't moving. The traffic was so bad. It was 4th of July at Coney Island after a pretty packed Beach Boys concert and fireworks when it started to rain. I left late. The traffic wasn't moving. An hour and a half, about an hour and a half of me in traffic. And so I was running out of gas, and it was not fun. So I had to make a decision. Do I hope that the nearest gas station... Like, am I gonna be able to make it to the nearest gas station? I mean, idling wastes gas too, so I had to do the only thing I could do, which is I had to pull over, turn off my car. And I couldn't find a spot to pull over for a while, so I was still wasting gas while looking for a spot to pull over so I could not waste gas. So finally I find a spot, and that's where I decided to pee. I had no choice. It was like hurting. My bladder was on fire. So I had to pee. And so I made the decision. I was like, listen, it's raining, no one's gonna see this. And as I start peeing, a cop walks by. Like, they didn't look at my car, but I started freaking out, and I actually stopped peeing midstream, which led to a whole host of other complications. I'm not gonna tell you about that, but that hurt like a motherfucker. It was a terrible night. Yes, midstream. Yes, midstream. Yes, because I freaked out. I panicked. And I thought this dude's gonna arrest me for peeing in a bottle in my own car. I don't know, man. It was a long night. So finally, after about 25-30 minutes of me waiting with my car off, with no gas, and, you know, my phone is dying, but I can't turn the car on because I'm afraid, you know, I'm gonna like waste battery. But my phone is good. At least I had the phone. I had the phone. I had internet, so that's good. Like, so anyway, yeah. So then I guess all at once, after like 25 minutes, 30 minutes, the traffic starts to dissipate. Like all at once. It was like I was almost at the very end of the traffic, and then the roads were totally clear. It was amazing. It was absolutely, like, I'd never seen anything like that. So I waited another couple minutes just to make sure, and then I drove to a gas station, which was about a minute and a half drive away, but if I was in that traffic, it would have been a half hour, and I might have run out of gas completely. So I made, you know, I had to make the best decision for my own fucking survival. And I did. And John Stamos jerked off while it happened. Okay, that part was the lie. 2 years ago... Was it 2 years ago? 2 years ago, I went to go see the Beach Boys at Coney Island. And this isn't the real Beach Boys. This is... I'm a big Beach Boys fan. But I'm a fan of Brian Wilson, not Mike Love. I'm not gonna go into detail, but... They were fine. I mean, they did all the hits, and it was a good time. It was at Coney Island, so you kind of can't go wrong if you're there. And then went to go get some food at Nathan's, and it started coming down really hard. There was like almost a fist fight. This is 4th of July, so they're lighting off fireworks, and it's raining, and it's gross, and I hate it. And the fireworks were fine, but you can't really enjoy them. You can't really enjoy fireworks when it's raining. Like, it's not just raining, it's a downpour. But I watched them for a bit, and then I said, okay, I'm gonna go now. So I said goodbye. You know, and I'm like, alright, time to leave. So I get in my car. Traffic. It's completely standstill. It took me like 40 minutes, maybe a half hour, 40 minutes. Again, my memory's not good. This is all on record, by the way, in a previous video. So if I get any details wrong, you can just blame... faulty, shitty memory, but what happened was I was stuck in there for maybe a half hour or more waiting for the cars to move, because I'm an asshole, and it's Coney Island, it's raining, it's 4th of July, of course there's gonna be this much traffic, and it was a fucking Beach Boys concert, so yeah, of course there's gonna be all this traffic. I did not consider this, but it was pretty rough, and so anyway, I'm noticing that my gas is really low. I'm on like 2 bars of gas, which then I see it kind of like, you know, it says low fuel. I'm like, okay, this isn't good. And even when you're idling, you know, with the engine on, you're losing gas. Slowly, but it's happening. And I'm like, I am going to run out of gas in Coney Island, stuck in traffic, and it's raining. Also, I have to pee. I had to pee so bad. So I decide to and I'm on like the main street now, trying to, you know, get off the street, and again, it's not moving. I'm in traffic for like an hour now, at least. It's not moving. I am most certainly going to run out of gas. So I want to find a place to pull over so I can turn my car off and wait for the traffic to go by. That's my plan. Problem is, every single spot is taken, and there's cops all over the place, so I didn't want to, like, you know, make a mistake, let's just say. Regardless, I figure, okay, I'll just keep driving. 2 bars go down to 1. Gas is, you know, getting really low. Still can't find anything. I'm probably now, at this point, the gas has probably been 1, now that I think about it, for a little while, because I was freaking out really hard. Finally, after like another 20 minutes of waiting in traffic, a spot. I'm sitting. I'm getting very anxious. The rain is pouring. It is a fucking downpour like I've never seen. I have to piss. Resist the temptation. Resist the urge. Resist the piss. Can't resist the piss any longer. The rain is reminding me of the fluids that need to be expelled from my body. At any given moment, I am reminded that I have to piss because the rain is reminding me. It's making it worse. Sweating. There's spaghetti. I have a bottle. Should I pee in the bottle? God, I hate this. I don't want to be a degenerate and pee in the bottle, but if I don't pee in the bottle, I'm gonna rupture a spleen. Or I'm gonna pee my pants. I gotta pee in the bottle. I grab the bottle, I look around. I don't see anyone. Then again, it's raining pretty hard, so maybe no one can see me. Obviously there's cars next to me because it's still traffic. So there's people next to me in cars, but I'm assuming they can't see me because they're in a car, I'm in a car, it's raining. They're not moving. I have no choice, I have to pee. This music is perfect for this story. I decide to I open the bottle. I look around again. I begin the process. The expulsion. It's not happening easily. I'm worried I'm going to overflow the bottle. Then, to my left, a policewoman walks by. Walks by! And what I thought looked into my car. But did not. Kept walking, okay? She had the parka on, the rain suit, the wetsuit. Wetsuit? The plastic stuff. Plastic rain parka, I guess. Poncho, thank you. A raincoat! Wow, there you go. I had to... just instinctually, after I saw that, I stopped peeing. I went from, like, almost full stream to no stream. And it hurt like a motherfucker. It was a total... like, it was a primal reaction. Not good. Not good. Turns out the police lady did not look into my car, and it was just me being paranoid. I mean, for good reason, yes, but it was still really fucking bad. This was the worst 4th of July I've ever had in my life, by the way. Not only did I see the Beach Boys without Brian Wilson, but I had to then endure this, and then finally the rain kind of subsided a bit, the traffic subsided a bit, and then I drove to the gas station. That was 2 blocks away, mind you. 2 blocks away, no more than 2 blocks away, which I would have run out of gas before then had I not turned my car off and parked. Got my gas. It took me a minute to get there once the traffic cleared up. And by the way, the traffic cleared up after 20 minutes of me sitting in traffic. So it was at like the tail... I was at like the tail end of the traffic. And once it cleared up, it was dead. There was nobody. So I got my gas and I drove home and then I streamed. Now, for years I've been... well, years, I guess, yeah, years, technically. I've been telling this story a little differently. And I've been saying that, it's been getting more and more perverted. See, I'm gonna let you behind the curtain. And, people still don't know... or there were a lot of people that didn't know what the fuck actually happened because this story got so convoluted. Essentially... my version of the story started with the real story and then turned into... then it turned into... the police officer was Mike Love. And he was walking by. Then it turned into, like, John Stamos was the police officer. And he was, like, forcing me to pee into the bottle. Then the story evolved into Mike Love and John Stamos S&M. And then it turned into, like, Mike Love broke into my car with John Stamos in tow. And they watched me pee into a bottle at gunpoint. So, over the years, the story just got worse and worse and worse. And people did not know what the fuck actually happened. But now you know. That's the story. It's not that exciting. It was not fun. Beach Boys is performing here in Orlando. Yeah, I saw that lineup. If John Stamos is with them, you may as well go. And if you pay them... they will watch you shave your pubes. That is a true story from Mike Love's Beach Boys. It happened to me, Coney Island, a couple years back. They were dressed as ambulance drivers. Vinny, have you ever used a piss bottle? Be honest. Yep. This is your field of expertise. It was after a Beach Boys concert in Coney Island. Oh yeah, no, I'm not telling the whole story again. I'm just saying, yes. This is a story. Oh! Oh! This is a story that, chat is well aware of, where John Stamos and Mike Love, dressed as police officers, held me at gunpoint while I peed in a bottle, for them. So yeah, that's all. Do you remember that time John Stamos and Mike Love from the Beach Boys took a shit in my car, in the gas tank, while I was peeing in my own hands? Do you remember that? New England Aquarium, it's called, yeah. Yeah, I really like that one. That was the last one I went to, but the Coney Island one is not that good. Well, it's good, it could be good. Maybe I need to go back in like 6 months. But when I was there last, it was a lot of renovation, and they were missing exhibits, and it was kind of small, but they were building more. And every time I go to Coney Island, I think about Mike Love and John Stamos pissing into a cup. So, you know, that's always gonna damper the situation.
Vinny, does it remind you of the time you had to pee into a bottle? No, because Brian Wilson wasn't at that concert. And, when I think of Mike Love and John Stamos, whenever I watch Full House, which is just all the time, really, I think about that time I had to pee in the bottle. But, not when I listen to Pet Sounds, considering, that was the fake Beach Boys. There are plenty of times where I shouldn't have streamed after going to a concert, or after doing something, and just did a dog shit stream. I mean, it was still me playing a video game. But there are a lot of times, like that specific time after that event where I got rained on, I couldn't pee, I saw the worst version of the Beach Boys with John Stamos. I was stuck in traffic for like an hour and a half. That I should have just stayed offline.
Have you ever had to piss in a bottle before? Yeah, John Stamos held me at gunpoint. Note, this is not true. Mr. Stamos has never done such a thing. This is for comedic value. Mike Love and John Stamos.
Street vendors, see if there's something bigger at play here.
Where did you pee in a bottle? That was Coney Island. I don't believe Brooklyn is attached to this. I mean, listen, John Stamos and Mike Love from the Beach Boys were dressed as cops. And they were, you know, they just really wanted to see it. And I had to go because I was stuck in traffic. And so I did it for them. And then they played me Don't Worry Baby while I was doing it. Well, my most famous 4th of July story is the time I saw the Beach Boys in Coney Island several years ago. And it was the fake Beach Boys. And, it was not bad, but Mike Love was talking himself up. John Stamos was on drums, and he was also, like, gyrating. And, everyone was old. And then afterwards, I went to get a hot dog, and it started raining. And the fireworks are going off, it's raining, and it's just miserable. And then I get back to my car, and the parking lot is at a standstill. Many of you know this story already. The parking lot, complete standstill. And I was running very, very low on gas. So I had to pee really bad. I'm moistened by the rain. You know, I just saw Mike Love talk about how great he is. Brian Wilson wasn't there. You know, so there was a lot that I was upset about, but I especially had to pee, and I especially needed gas. I was on like two gas I had. So, and now it's getting really late, and I wanted to stream that night. I think I did, actually. So that you know, that day I might actually have footage. And I'm in the lot for like an hour. Something like that. And then finally it moves, and then I'm on the main road, and it's still standstill traffic. It takes so long for any cars to move. It sucks. My gas is almost out, and my pee, I have to pee. So what do? I decide to pee in a bottle. Because when you gotta go, you really gotta go. And as I did that, there was a policewoman that was walking by. Perfect timing, don't know where they came. Like, I pulled over, and I swear to God, that's real. I have altered the story in future years. As you know, I talked about how John Stamos, dressed as a cop, watched while Mike Love JO'd into a cup. I've talked about how John Stamos and Mike Love at gunpoint forced me to pee into a bottle. The truth is, what happened was simply that. I peed into a bottle. I had no choice, chat. I had no choice. It was 4th of July, and I had to pee. So I pull over, I pee, the you know, cop walks by, so there was no issue there. It was really dark and rainy, so, you know. And then, I just pulled over. I said, okay, I gotta turn my car off because I have no gas. I can barely make it to a gas station if I'm lucky. I had one gas, maybe half a gas. And, all the other cars, about 10 minutes later, just go, and the roads are totally clear. So, I went, got gas, and then went home, and then streamed probably miserable. And that's my story. Unfortunately, Mike Love and John Stamos followed me home and forced me to listen to Summer in Paradise, and every song on the album 5 times in a row. And then they peed in my tub. And that's the real end of the story. Vinny, how many times do you think you've told the Sting piss bottle story by now? Well, none, because it's not Sting. It's John Stamos and Mike Love. Tell us the Sting piss bottle story. Okay, I was in Atlantic City, and it was foggy, and it looked like Silent Hill. And I was walking to the Hard Rock when I saw a figure emerge from the fields of gold. It was Sting. It was at that moment... Oh, it was at that moment he said, "Did you like my performance in Dune?" And I said, "Yeah, you were really good in David Lynch's Dune." And he said, "No, the new one." I said, "Who did you play in that?" And he said, "The Worm," and then pulled out his Johnson. It was just a friend of his named Johnson that he had with him. Anyway, I mean, I guess I don't know if it was real, but this was one of the stories that was exchanged. Listen, I told my John Stamos piss story in Coney Island. There was another piss story exchanged, and then that one happened.
The robot.
Would it?
Yeah, you spent.
I don't know. Like every time you eat finger food.
Wait.
What, Nary?
Would it be convenient? What do you mean?
Every time you ate chips,
No.
you'd have like to make sure you didn't have pee-pee hands.
No, yeah, pee-pee. You eat with the, say if you could pee from your finger, you're driving, right? You got your arm out the window, you're chilling with your honey, and then you need to pee all stealthy. You go like this. Yeah, you're driving like this, and you're peeing like this, and it's like you could do it stealth. I'm telling you, it'd be sick.
I think you're onto something with that.
Listen, when I had to pee in the bottle near Coney Island after that 4th of July Beach Boys concert and John Stamos and Mike Love were holding me at gunpoint, forcing me to pee into that bottle, it would have been so convenient to just point into the bottle and pee. I'm telling you.
It's such a terrible story to be telling with that model. It's so terrifying.
And real.
It's like, hey, about that time when I pissed in a bottle in Coney Island, it's just Luigi staring into my soul with his tongue out.
You have to admit, though, when you think Coney Island, peeing in a bottle is probably on the list of things you would associate with it. Like, it's up there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes
I'd
sense.
say that's about right.
Stop doing that.
Fatal error.
Tell them about Mike Love and John Stamos. Oh, yeah, just they made me pee after a Beach Boys concert while dressed as police officers at gunpoint. And they made me pee into
his
a cup
car.
while they watched and jerked off. John Stamos and Mike Love from the Beach Boys. Yeah, it's just an old story that I've told a lot. You know, if you like actually like pinch, that could probably cause damage. I'm pretty sure that like that includes. Like, there was the one time I had to do that when I was in Coney Island after a Beach Boys performance, and Mike Love and John Stamos were dressed as policemen, and they were trying to watch me pee in my car during the rain into a bottle.
Oh, jeez.
And I had to, like, cut it off halfway, and it did not feel good. People don't know this story. You want to hear the story again? It was 2016.
No!
I think. And I had gone to a Beach Boys show. You know, the fake Beach Boys. The one with the villain of the Beach Boys, Mike Love, and John Stamos was on drums. And, not much of the original band left. Not a single Wilson brother in the band, obviously. And I watched their show. And then
I don't even have a kid.
I left. It was 4th of July, so there's fireworks, and it started to rain really, really, really bad.
The old crafting table. We had some good memories. Oh, jeez. I bet I don't know.
God. That almost got real bad, chat. Anyway, it was raining really heavy, and I got some hot dogs at Nathan's after the show, watched the fireworks from under an umbrella, and then decided it is time to leave. Alright, so I'm leaving. The amount of traffic leaving that parking lot was absurd. And so, I had to pee really bad, and I only had a very, like, a sliver.
Not now.
A sliver of gas, chat. A sliver of gas. So, I'm waiting, and I see the tank go down further. And I'm like, oh no. I'm like, this is bad. I'll finish the story. Essentially, though, I was in line for I was waiting, and it took me like 45 minutes just to leave this parking lot. And then I'm on either, what is it, like Mermaid or Neptune or some shit avenue, and it's still not moving. The rain is still coming down, and I see my gas is just like really, really running out, and I have to really, really pee. So I pull over at some point. I couldn't even pull over for like another half hour, by the way, because the streets were completely filled with cars. Like dead standstill traffic. So I end up parking eventually, and I like basically think I'm running on fumes, and I have to pee really bad. So what am I gonna do? Like get out of the car and pee somewhere? No. I pee in a bottle. I do what I had to do. So I pee in the bottle, and I'm peeing, and I look to my left, and I see a police woman, walking by my car. Now, it was so rainy that I don't think she saw inside, but I had to stop midstream. So I cut the stream off halfway. I thought I got caught, and it hurt so fucking bad, chat. And now I'm in pain. I have no gas, and I have half a bottle of piss. So I decided, let me just continue waiting. Another 20 minutes or so goes by, 10, 15 minutes, whatever it is. I don't remember. It wasn't that long. All the cars go. Suddenly, there is no traffic. All I had to do was wait in my fucking car or go find a toilet. All the traffic just left. And then I went to a gas station and went home. And then I streamed that same night. Here's the thing, though. That story has changed. So instead of a policewoman, it's Mike Love holding me at gunpoint saying, hey, partner, you better pee into that bottle and you're gonna like it. While John Stamos is jacking him off. You know, like that kind of thing. So depending on when you've heard this story, you've gotten erroneous or correct details. But that's the way I like to tell the story. Anyway, let's continue with the Steam Speen, shall we?